3 things you need to know about emergency funds. I'm Mark Palmer, ex-financial professional, here to teach you how to build wealth. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at MarkPWealth. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you understand that this is not financial advice. It's purely financial education. Everyone has a different situation and everyone has different goals. Since I don't know your situation or goals, I can't actually give you financial advice. And also, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't give you advice anyways. But what I can do is teach you what I know so that you know it too. One more piece, I'd really appreciate if you did a good deed for me today and hit that like button on this video. Minimal effort from you, but it really helps out my channel a lot. So thank you in advance. Alright, let's get started on today's topic. As mentioned in a previous video of mine, emergency funds are one of the 4 crucial aspects of your financial plan. They're also kind of boring and often neglected because they're not going to make you rich, but they could keep you from suffering a major setback in your financial plan. So let's go over the 3 things you should know about emergency funds. First thing you should know about emergency funds: what exactly do you use them for? Emergency funds are used for when life throws you those curveballs that you weren't financially prepared for. This could be anything like your pet getting injured and needing a surgery, or your furnace breaking down and you need to replace it. It can also come into play for instances like if you lose your job and you still need to pay rent or your mortgage. Having an emergency savings can make these bad situations a lot less stressful. The second thing you need to know about emergency funds is how much you should have saved. The general rule of thumb is to save 3 to 6 months of your expenses. This will require you to know how much your expenses are each month. Why 3 to 6 months? Because if you were to lose your job or your income, it would buy you enough time to still pay for your life while you find a new job. 3 to 6 months is just a rule of thumb though, so your situation may call for more or less, and that's up to you to figure out. Okay, let's go over the third thing you need to know about emergency funds. If you haven't yet, please like this video, and if you're feeling extra generous, subscribe to my channel. So the third thing you need to know about emergency funds is where to keep it. Some people put cash under their mattress or hide it somewhere in their walls, which I would not recommend. You don't want to risk it getting lost or burning away in a fire. Which leads me to my first criteria that I look for when deciding where to put my emergency fund, and that is to keep it somewhere safe. Safe means somewhere that no one else can access it, and also somewhere that is not going to lose value like it could in the stock market. The next criteria I look for is somewhere that I can immediately access the funds. You don't want to get yourself in an emergency and have all your emergency savings locked away in a CD that you can't access for a full year. Put your emergency funds somewhere that you can access the funds within 24 hours of needing them. So where exactly should you keep your emergency fund? A great spot for your emergency fund is in a savings account at a bank. Many banks are FDIC insured, meaning your money is safe, and many banks will allow you to withdraw it immediately if you need to. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you won't be getting rich off your emergency fund. Many bank accounts will only pay you like 0.0001% interest, which isn't anything. But there is this thing called a high yield savings account that you can open, and it'll pay you a little bit more interest than some of the other banks will. I keep my emergency fund in a high yield savings account, and it pays me 0.5% interest, which adds up to be whole dollar amounts, which is better than nothing. If you want to do the same, you should Google high yield savings account or check out Ally Bank. That's where I have mine, and you'll be able to find some accounts that are mostly online but do pay a little bit higher interest than some of the other banks. Alright, let's recap. The 3 things you should know about emergency funds are: 1. They can save you from financial stress when surprise expenses come up. 2. 3 to 6 months of your expenses is a good rule of thumb for how much you should save in your emergency fund. And 3. You should keep your emergency fund somewhere safe and somewhere you can access it immediately. That's all we've got for emergency funds today. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below or connect with me on Twitter or Instagram at MarkPWealth. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.